Hi everyone. To kind of go over my coaching interview, it was done Wednesday afternoon with another fellow coach that I work with, and just kind of a basis. We basically talked about the approach and how that's effective, and then the importance of coaching. So I'll kind of go into further detail as we go along with this video. So to begin, when I asked them both questions, like, did they have a coach, and do they think that they would benefit from having a personal coach, mentor, consultant, things along those lines. So for the first question, the coach that I was interviewing believed that everyone should have a coach in any field that they're in. And so this person and I actually discussed one of the earlier topics that we had at the beginning of the semester in regards to, do you think that you can reach maximum potential if you are not coached? And so what we discussed were, yes, you can. People are always, self-motivated, self-driven, things along those lines, and you can definitely reach potential, but it's all about perspective. And so that's when coaching comes in, because, if you're constantly coaching yourself, you're not getting the critique in order to actually reach maximum potential. And so the answer would be, yes and no. Like, of course, you can reach a high potential, but is that your maximum? Probably not. And it doesn't have to be in sports. It can be in any aspect in regard the workforce, business wise. Like, it basically states how it's possible. However, it's just kind of not very logical, if that makes sense. And so we kind of wanted this discussion, like, do we allow the individuals within our workplace to be able to, self-coach, take a little bit off of us and a little bit more on them to be able to, grasp the full concept of, how they're applying themselves to the position. And so it was kind of a back and forth topic, but really we agreed that no, like, we shouldn't really step off the gas when it comes to constantly coaching people, because we thought that maybe we were over coaching, and maybe if we step back a little bit, create a greater boundary, a little more respect for us and trust as coaches, that we're able to kind of keep it fluently to where we're not always overwhelming the girls and excuse me, everyone in our workplace. We're mainly girls, which is why I stated that in our workplace. But with that being said, really kind of discussing how we need to kind of integrate our change. And so we're actually going through a procedure right now within the next couple of months where it's going to have to initiate change at a very rapid pace. And I think it creates this hectic feeling. So then it goes back to the beginning, like, do you think that people can self-coach? And especially with all of this change going on, and it kind of creating this feeling of, like, discomfort, I would say no, because it takes guidance in order for them to become successful. And so after the discussion, we've come to a consensus that, we are not going to, or we're going to continue with gradually progressing and initiating change, but also introducing training and resources that will help them alleviate the feeling of change, because of how uncomfortable change can be at some point in time. And then the last question would be, do they think that they would benefit from having their own mental or personal mental coach, anything, mentor? This person said yes. And so he said he's also in a position right now of, like, vulnerability, where he feels like he almost needs someone there to coach him, especially at a higher position. Like, you don't really get that. You get feedback, but not really from someone within the same position as you, or has been in the same position as you. And so with that being said, he, the person that I was interviewing, was stating how he believes that he would benefit even from his day and age. He's like, he's had 25 years of experience, and he feels like he still needs a coach to coach him. And so it's nice to know that even despite the amount of experience you have, that everyone's going to need a coach. Because when you're at a younger position, when you're first starting off in the workplace, in the real world, you feel as if it's kind of misleading. Like, you feel like you have to know everything at a certain point in time. Like, me going into the real world with the next couple of years, we've talked about this too, like, you almost never feel ready. You can have great coaches, but you know, through experience, through trials and tribulations, plus having a great mentor, you're able to finally reach that maximum success. But that could be over a period of time. That's not just that year, that position. It may take multiple times for you to kind of figure out your own leadership and coaching philosophy. And so that was the greatest input that I got from him, was just that you'll learn your own philosophy even though you have a coach that may not have the same one as you. And so I just kind of really took that and how I would integrate that into my coaching and consulting plan, because I'm familiar as of right now with like what my philosophy is as a leader, as a coach, and things like that. And so when it comes to discussing that with other people, it is reassuring to know that the knowledge never really dies out. So that concludes my interview. Thank you.